Let's meet Dovid Hamelech. This is Dovid. You may know him as Dovid Hamelech, Dovid the king. But before he was king, Dovid was a shepherd. He lived in a town called Beis Lechem. His father was Yishai, a great tzaddik. When Dovid was growing up, Bnei Israel appointed King Shaul to be their first king. King Shaul was a strong, tall man, and as king, he wore a shiny crown. There was also a very special prophet and Navi at the time. His name was Shmuel HaNavi. He received messages straight from Hashem. Shaul was a great king, but he made some mistakes. So Hashem decided that it was time to appoint another king. Hashem sent Shmuel HaNavi to Beis Lechem to find Yishai. He said, one of Yishai's sons will become the next king. Shmuel HaNavi went to Yishai's house and said, "Please bring your sons to me." One by one, 7 of Yishai's sons came to Shmuel HaNavi. All of them were tall, handsome, and strong, but none of them were the future king. Shmuel HaNavi said, "Yishai, do you have any more sons?" Yishai said, "There is one small one with red hair. He's out in the fields." Dovid didn't look like his brothers. He was the youngest and was not as big and tall as they were, so Yishai didn't think Dovid could be king. Shmuel HaNavi said, "Bring him to me." When Dovid arrived, Hashem said to Shmuel HaNavi, "I have chosen him as the future king." Shmuel HaNavi appointed Dovid as the next king, but Dovid didn't become the official king until he passed many tests. First, Dovid saved Bnei Israel by fighting a big giant named Goliath. Goliath was from the Plishtim, a nation that was very mean to the Jews. No one else wanted to fight Goliath because he was so big and scary, but Dovid knew Hashem would help him. Dovid hit Goliath with a stone from his slingshot, and the giant tumbled. Dovid won the battle. The Jewish people were very happy that Dovid won against Goliath. That is, everyone was happy except Shaul. He became jealous of Dovid because he thought Dovid would steal his throne. Dovid ran away from Shaul because he was afraid of Shaul. He had to hide in many different places. It was scary to be chased by the king. But Dovid asked Hashem for help through beautiful songs and poems that he wrote. These songs and poems were put together in a book called Sefer Tehillim. We use these Tehillim to call out to Hashem, just like Dovid did. Shaul went into a cave not knowing that Dovid and his men were there and could hurt him. Dovid did not want to hurt the king of Israel. After Shaul left the cave, Dovid called out to him from behind, "My king, see this corner piece that I cut from your coat? I was in the cave with you, and I could have hurt you while you were there, but I didn't. Please, let there be peace between us." After some time, Shaul stopped chasing Dovid. Shaul knew that Hashem wanted Dovid to be the next king. And so it came to be. Dovid was officially crowned as king of Bnei Israel. He was now Dovid Hamelech. Everyone realized how great he was, and the people had a big feast. all of Bnei Israel sang out, Dovid Melech Israel Chai Vekayam. David, the king of Israel, lives forever. Dovid Hamelech longed to build the Beis Hamikdash, a special house for Hashem. But Hashem said, the Beis Hamikdash is destined to be built by your son Shlomo. David said, if I can't build it, then I will make preparations for it. So he conquered Jerusalem and made it the central city. When his son Shlomo became king, he was able to build the first Beis Hamikdash. We all remember Dovid Hamelech's greatness. Many people still sing that song that Bnei Israel sang in celebration of David becoming king. Dovid Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai Vekayam. Dovid Hamelech still lives on today because we recite the Tehillim he wrote, and we know that Mashiach will come from him.